viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Brittany Butler, and today I have the awesome opportunity to interview the creative and talented Ashley Ortiz. So, Ash, I know you by Ash, but the people at home, they may not know you as Ash. So how about you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. I went and started Paul Mitchell about 2 years ago. I went in as Ashley Ortiz, and there was a couple too many Ashleys in there, and I kind of wanted to revamp myself and start new, so I started going by Ash. At this point in my life, I don't care if you call me Ashley or Ash, but I went through school, I graduated, I was part of the student council, I was the president there, and then I got an assisting job at 8 the Salon, and from there, things just started to take off, and now I'm about to head out to LA tomorrow morning.
Yes. Well, okay, so we're going to discuss basically every aspect of what you just said in our interview today, but let's start off with your experience at Paul Mitchell School, Charlotte. So tell me, what was the highlight of it, or what was that aha moment that you had throughout school?
Oh gosh, my aha moment throughout school. I think that when you go through school, you kind of have different aha moments through it. In the beginning, you're like, oh, I need to do this for whatever reason. Everybody has a different reason that they were going for. My reason I was going for was because I wasn't happy where I was in my life, so I needed to make a change. And Paul Mitchell was the next step to stop feeling like I was disappointing my family or anything like that. And then midway through, kind of hit that hard patch because you're midway through. And, I was in probably a little bit of a toxic relationship. My father was very sick, and I decided that at that point I'm just going to throw myself fully into school, and then that's when things the ball started to really roll for me, and I knew I was down the right path when I got an email asking me if I wanted to do makeup at Fashion Week in Paris, France. And that was probably one of the top moments because I originally said no. I said it was too short notice and I want to be able to do it. And Leslie, who was in charge of Phase 2, pulled me aside and was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I can't handle this anymore. I can't handle what's happening within my life and everything. She was like, "No, you need this, and we're going to make this happen." And in 2 days, we started a GoFundMe account, and I raised $1,500.
Wow. That's amazing. So, I remember sitting in powwow, and for those who don't know what powwow is basically every Thursday we get together, and sometimes it might be a different day, but we all get together as a school, and collectively we discuss our wins, our accomplishments, and most times we have a guest speaker come in and just share tons of knowledge with us. But I remember hearing that you had just participated in Paris Fashion Week, and I was like, wow, I need to know that girl. The whole time Ash has been my neighbor, and we didn't know that we were right across the street from each other. But I was like, I definitely need to know that girl because I need to know how, to get into Paris Fashion Week or even New York Fashion Week because you did that as well. What was that experience like?
Oh, which one? Paris or New York?
Both.
Oh, they're actually two completely different experiences. I really loved Paris because in that moment it opened and expanded my mind so much to different cultures, the way human interaction, because I think in America sometimes we are very standoffish to each other, or we're not willing to help somebody that's from a different country. But when I went over there, I didn't, in that moment when you're going through the airport and you're like, oh my God, nobody speaks English right now, and I don't speak another language, which most of the world, I did not know this, speaks at least 2 languages to 4 languages.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wow, I feel really ignorant right now because I've been going through life thinking, oh, I'm this person, and really in that moment I had to rely on human, just hoping that I'll meet good people. And I learned the simple phrase, parlez-vous anglais, and as long as I attempted to just say that line, anybody was willing to speak to me, help me. The French are one of the nicest people I've ever met. And there's different cultures within that was there too, and everybody was so nice. And that's just like one aspect of it, of the people. That's not even getting into the fashion part of it. The fashion part was a completely different scene. I remember just walking to the hotel, and you could see the Eiffel Tower just in the background, and I was like, I feel like I'm in a movie right now. Like, this is insane. And it was a little chaotic. Everybody was a little everywhere, but that's what I like thrive off of. I need fast pace and getting to work with so many different artists because we were sponsored by Redken and NYX. So we had a bunch of Redken platform artists there. Incredible women and men there, and then we had our makeup team too, and the makeup team consisted of men and women too, from all over the United States. And even though we had all just met, it was like we had been family, and just it was I relive it all the time in my head.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And that's like such a big accomplishment to be able to, do Fashion Week while you're still in cosmetology school and get those opportunities. So kudos to you. Congratulations on getting that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, okay, so let's fast forward a little bit. So let's go to now you graduated from Paul Mitchell and you're in the in-between stage where, you're trying to figure out what's the next thing to do. Mm-hmm. So explain to me what that was like and then how that moment led to your next opportunity.
Okay, so right when I was graduating, New York Fashion Week had happened, and I went and did that, and I actually went to a different salon, more towards a barber shop in the beginning. It just sometimes, I don't want to say anything out of context because the people there are incredible men and women that work there. They are fantastic people, but I needed something a little more different because I felt like I wasn't growing how I needed to, because people don't realize when you're fresh out of school, you should not be going straight onto the floor. I learned that the hard way because, you get so built up, and yes, you might be incredible, but you need to have somebody that can really break it down for you. Yeah, continuing education is a huge thing in this industry, and it's really hard to find somewhere that like really breaks it down, but I'm the type of person that needs it also. So everybody has different personality types, and at that point I found myself going back to old habits and falling back into old ways, and I wanted to definitely change, and because I spent almost 2 years trying to make myself better, and I refused to revert back into who I was. So I decided that I would go to 8, the salon, where they have Sassoon training, and so we had cutting classes on Tuesday, color classes on Wednesday, and styling classes on Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday you're assisting the stylist and assisting after that too. And from there, it's like I just went on to a whole new path, and I ended up becoming really close friends with one of the girls there. Her name's Casey, and I happened to be following around October, and she really likes Halloween makeup, and I was like, oh, I know how to do special effects makeup, like, let's get together and do like a shoot or something. Right. And she was completely down with it. Yeah. And from there, she ended up showing my portfolio. I didn't know this because I hadn't gotten to work yet, but to everybody, like in the break room apparently, and the owner saw it, and so later on he comes up to me and he's like, why are you even doing hair? Now, I'm still just kind of new, like assisting, so a nervous wreck already, and then to have somebody come up to me and say that, I was like, because I'm cleaning bowls, this is what you paid me to do. Right. And he was like, you do makeup, I've seen your portfolio, and I was like, my heart just like dropped. I was like, you saw my portfolio? Like, how did you see it? Like, it's crazy. And so I told him, I was like, honestly, my passion's in makeup, but I spent a lot of money to go do hair. And he was like, well, are you just going to waste a couple more years here doing hair if you want to do makeup, or are you going to go and leave now and go do makeup? And I was like, no, I'm going to stay and do hair.
Right.
And so from there, he just kind of kept pressing me and like, why aren't you doing something? Like, why aren't you doing makeup? And I was man, like, I'm trying to just assist and make money. But, you know, at the end of the day, money doesn't equal happiness.
Right.
And I was becoming a little unhappy again. I'm from Charlotte, spent the last 27 years in Charlotte, and it kind of hit a point where, you know, I had decided to start looking into California.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, my boss kind of pulled me off to the side, and he had one of the other girls tell me her backstory of how she came over to America and stuff, and I was like, wow, like somebody at 10 years old is willing to follow a dream, and I'm 27 and I'm just kind of settling, and I have opportunities in ways that I should be able to go and to be able to follow a dream. And so as we're having this whole conversation, he tells me, he's like, you know what, you don't have enough people believing in you and telling you that you actually can make this happen, that you can do it, and that you have to risk and you have to get out of your comfort zone, or else you're going to be settling for nothing. So with that being said, you're fired. I know.
You're fired.
My heart sank. I was like, what? I was like, no, we need to stop. Wait, hold on. And he was like, no, like, you're not believing in yourself. You need someone to give you this push. And I freaked out. You know, sorry, Roger, that I cried so much in that moment. You know, but it was kind of, he told me to, you know, go clean up and we'll talk later. And I got sent home, and I went home and I acted like I really did get fired, even though I refused to be fired. And I started contacting people in California. So I found one night I found where I could stay for like a few weeks between a couple of people. I got in contact with agencies. I got in contact with somebody that was willing to drive out there with me and come back from Lax Airport to Charlotte. And I contacted William Williams. He was still living in San Diego at the time. And I sent him this long message about, hey, this is everything that's happened. I'm trying to get out to California. And it just so happened, he messaged me back and was like, that's funny because I'm moving to Charlotte tomorrow.
Right, that's crazy.
I was like, what?
Right. Tomorrow.
I was like, this is happening.
Right.
It was like nothing. It was never like, oh, hey, William, how are you? I'm like, this is everything I have, and I'm putting everything on the line. And he just happened to be coming. So everything kind of fell into place organically. And the next day, like I said, I refused to be fired.
Right.
Next day, I showed up to work, and I brought in my model for class, and I went through the whole day, and Roger kept looking over at me, and I was like, I know you just fired me. And I just showed up anyway.
Right.
And he laughed because he was like, I've never really had someone do that before, just show up the next day even though you got fired. I was like, yeah, I refuse to be fired, but I made moves, so
Right.
I just don't like to be fired. So from there, you know, we had made a compromise that I could work there to the end of December. And then once the end of December came, everybody was like, all right, see you next week. And I was like, no, you won't. I'm going to California.
Yeah.
They were like, that's really happening? You're really doing that? I was like, yes, I wasn't kidding when I said it. I've been chasing my dream, so I would go to, you know, work, and after work I would go to Paul Mitchell School Charlotte and do workshops with William, and then I also worked other side jobs to make extra cash for the next 2 months, and worked on my own inner self and finding happiness, so that when I left Charlotte, I'm leaving on a happy note of where I really want to be in life, and that I'm not running away from Charlotte, but yet expanding my mind and culture, and hopefully, you know, money.
Yeah. Right. While being happy.
Yes.
Well, that's amazing because it seems like every time you hit like a roadblock, or you felt like, no, like maybe I might not be good enough for this, or no, I just want to settle, like you had someone pushing you to just go ahead and take that risk? So like that was Leslie, that was Roger, and then who knows who the next person will be? You know, to push you to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So that's awesome that you have been surrounded around people who believe in you. Sometimes a little bit more than you believe in yourself at the moment, but they see that potential and they, you know, help guide you. So that's awesome.
It is. Brittany also helped me, y'all.
No.
Yes, you did. She would come over after school or work. We'd have a little wine. I'd have to tell, you know, I'm like, I just don't think I don't think this is working, you know?
We became bed partners, and I'll be like, girl, bye.
She would.
Like, you sound crazy.
That was the most amazing moment. And, you know, it's funny because after we had that conversation and everything, that following week when we were in workshop, and I just said, you know what? I'm going to walk in this school. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to own this from now on. And even William had said, he was like, wow, like, the way you're standing in class now, the way that you're holding yourself, your confidence is up. And then I just happened to look over here and I was like,
Well, see, that's what life's about, you know, networking, but not just networking to get something from somebody, but to actually build relationships, because you never know what you might need someone for. It might not be a career move, it might be like a personal thing, you know? So we'll definitely keep in touch after this.
Oh, absolutely.
You go to LA, I'll be out there soon with you.
I'll be waiting.
So Ash is about to embark on a very long but fun ride to LA.
Yes.
And so you're about to drive, you know, you're going to be with one of your good friends, right?
Yes.
Driving, so you'll have some company. But I already know, like, just with you getting your mindset right, you're going to have a list of, like, some motivational songs or something that's going to, like, get you amped, keep you going, you know?
Yeah.
So tell me what's going to be on your playlist.
No, you're going to blast me like that.
I mean, we all need to know so we can, like, experience it too. We go home, listen to it, like, okay, yeah.
So my music taste is very wide range.
Okay.
But I'm also very kind of classic rock kind of girl. So Guns N' Roses.
Okay. Okay.
Paradise. Where the grass is greener.
Okay. Well, cool.
All right. I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs. And then, you know, it's called chill step music that I like. It's like a mixture of chill and dubstep music.
Okay.
And I don't know. I like too much music that they go from everywhere. I mean, lately, packing up my room, I've been doing like 2000s hip hop and R&B. Like when it was at that full force with like Ja Rule and all that. Like, you know,
have you listened to Juvenile, you know, taking over the 99 and the 2000s?
Yes! Give me a little R. Kelly with some Ignition remix.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome.
And Journey. Don't Stop Believing. I never did.
You're funny. So, okay. So now, tell us a little bit. So now, you're in LA, right?
Oh, God.
What are your goals? Well, and not just goals, what are the things you are going to accomplish? You're going to speak it into existence so it manifests itself.
Absolutely. Okay, so first thing is to get fully with the agencies out there. But to start assisting with them in the beginning, because again, assisting is the key to like having a good foundation in a career, and then from there, actually becoming one of the main artists and having my own assistant, and hopefully getting into production, TV, films eventually. The ultimate goal is definitely for special effects and makeup, because I could see myself just being really content and happy in life, working in a studio with clay, making masks, and like really just I'm a very hands-on person. So, and of course, obviously doing the makeup and applying for it. There's this awesome convention that happens out there, and I'm just missing it. Unfortunately, it's finishing up yesterday. It's called IMAT.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, yeah.
So I definitely, one of the goals is to really get up in the makeup industry and be able to be an artist.
Well, that just gives you time and opportunity, because you're just missing. It gives you a whole year to get where you need to be and then be a part of it. Exactly. Not just visiting.
You're right. That's the goal.
You're in it. You're coming to your booth.
Yes. It's gonna be like one of those big ones, like in the hair show. I'm gonna be at Andy's or something.
Right. But it's gonna be your name and your brand.
Yes.
I see, and I'm gonna come visit.
Okay.
So how about we make a bet? That's
okay.
We gotta shake on it.
All right. We didn't even say the bet.
Okay. The bet is that you're gonna have your own. We won't put a time limit on it.
Okay.
But you're gonna have your own booth at IMAX, and then I'm gonna come visit you.
Okay.
And then we have to take a picture.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, can we add a second part to this?
Sure.
I said second, but I held up my fingers.
Because you might be Brumman from the Fifth Club.
I like your save there. I'll take it. If you come visit, then you're gonna have to put that TV show or the pilot together, and I will have a team set up for you, and we'll make a pilot.
Shaking on it.
Right.
That was us shaking on our future. So
yes.
Once you see us in the big screen and the lights and everything, then you know why, because we just committed to it.
That's
and
it.
We're gonna work to make it happen.
She's about to be big. This is big.
We're big.
That's what I love about Paul Mitchell, is that there's so many different people that go there.
Yeah.
That have so many different stories. Everybody has their own story there. Because half the time it's not even about like the hair and the makeup.
Right.
It's like the journey throughout it to you kind of go in there with one view and your life might be all chaotic, and in that time period it's like school is your outlet to try to build better for your life. There's so many ups and downs, and it's incredible the people that you end up meeting there, because sometimes people always want to put like a light just on one person and try to build them up. And I've never been a full fan of that build up that's just one person, because I know personally there's another incredible makeup artist in school right now that's ahead of me. Her name's Hannah, and she has like so much makeup and stuff going on. Like that's incredible. There's a bunch of moms at that school right now that are raising their kids and going to school and working at the same time. There's just like so many different stories of people that are happening, and the stuff that they are doing with hair and makeup too is incredible. So I really want to sometimes tell people, I'm like, just talk to the person next to you, and you'll probably be inspired within just hearing the beginning of their story, because everybody's so incredible there.
That's true. And like everyone else's story kind of pushes you to be greater.
Because
you're like, wow, this person is dealing with X, Y, Z, and I'm complaining because I can't get my triangular graduation together. Like, I just need to go home and practice.
It's just that simple. So, and that's also the difference between someone that does hair and an artist. An artist is going to practice every day and put in the time and the commitment to it. So, like, I've worked multiple jobs, and I went to school, and I still had practice and different things. So, if you put the time in and, like, really put the time in, like, there's some nights I only got maybe 2 hours of sleep, and then I would go back to school the next day. It's your determination and what you're willing to put out there to make it happen. I mean, even if bringing your kid to class or something because you want to go to that workshop, like your commitment, like that's commitment.
Yeah, you're right. Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you today, and I hope that, and I know that everyone viewing this is going to get something from it, be inspired to not only pursue their own dreams, but to just push past, what we can learn from each other technically, but like emotionally and spiritually, what we can gain from each other. Because that's like the biggest thing that we've learned. But it's been awesome. I want you to tell the public how they can keep up with you while you're on your journey. Like, what is your Instagram or your social media handles?
Okay, so my social media, my public one is for Facebook is Ash Ortiz. And then for Instagram, it's MUA_Ortiz, ORTIZ.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Actually,
wait, are we cheersing?
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah. To the futures.
Yes. This is tea. And that's coffee, by the way.
Just coffee. Nothing else.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see Ash doing big things in the future.
Not just me. She's next. Keep up. Watch out.